YouTube family, what's good with you? It's your boy 2A in LA, and as always, fam, anything I say in this episode, prior episodes, and future episodes is just my personal opinion. Don't take it as fact. Don't take it as law. Always do your own homework and come up with your own conclusions. Right about now, fam, go ahead and tap that like button for your boy. If you're new to the channel, I want to say welcome. Come on in. You can join the congregation by smashing that subscribe button and requesting all post notifications. And if you are an existing supporter of this channel, fam, I appreciate you more than you can possibly imagine. You are the reason this channel is anything. All right, fam, let's get this episode rolling. Look, fam, I'm excited about this one. I'm excited about this one because this one has been on my radar. And you guys know, for those who watch the channel, some people, because I have so many 2011s, I think some people who maybe don't watch the channel as religiously as others, you know, they may think that my collection is primarily 2011s. But if you guys watch, you guys know I take every gun in my collection seriously, whether it is a shotgun, whether it's a 2011, whether it's a long gun 308 or long gun 556 or an SBR slash brace, whatever. I am always looking for the best of the best of the best, and this one was one of those situations where aesthetically I started to see this gun show up in certain videos out in the wild, and it immediately caught my eye aesthetically. And I had been wanting to get a few more piston driven guns in my collection. I had obviously my Scar 17S, and then I recently picked up that Sig Sauer MCX chambered in 308 as well, that Spear chambered in 308 as well. I wanted to get a 223-556 piston driven gun, and right along the time that this was kind of in my head, HK drops the MR556A4, and like I said, aesthetically it was a wow. And you know, but that's not enough. But you know, HK makes very high quality firearms, specifically, you know, their piston-driven long gun for a long while had kind of been the standard, and I had been meaning to pick one up. And then when they came out with the new version of it, I was like, oh, that one's on my radar. That one's on my radar. And like I said, I had seen a few videos on it, and before I had one it filtered out here kind of to California. My main man Jeff from the Weapons Collective had picked up one, and I was like, ooh, Jeff, yeah, you beat me to it. You beat me to it. But I definitely had that one in mind. Then I go to SHOT Show this past year, and I get an opportunity to shoot it. And I gotta say, fam, I was surprised. I was surprised. A lot of piston-driven guns are heavier, as you would expect them to be, but I felt like the weight was manageable. Like it wasn't that bad. And then when I shot it, that gun was so soft shooting, so fast, so accurate. Hopefully you guys could pick some of that up from the intro footage that I shot for you. But I was like, oh, I gotta have it. I gotta have it. And the only question was I going to get the long gun, or was I going to try to find a brace pistol? A lot easier to get a long gun out here in California. Brace pistols are a little bit harder to come by, but you know, leave it to my guys at Covert. They, where there's a will, there's a way. They got a short run of brace pistols here in California, and when they told me that, I was like, sold. Right? So look, fam, I'm no stranger to HK. If you guys watch the channel, you know for a long time I had a really souped up HK VP9. Recently, your boy picked up this HK SP5K. Fam, this gun is one of my favorite sexy little beasts that it is. And so look, when I got a chance to add the 556A4 to the collection, had to do it. So without further ado, let me let you check out your boy 2ANLA's HKMR 556A4, obviously chambered in 556-223. We got that laser speed, laser and light on the front. We got that Vortex UH1 and magnifier sitting on Unity risers. We got that Law tactical folder, so you know, if you're traveling with it or whatever, you can shorten that package up real small, whip it out, and you're ready for business. And of course, we got an SB tactical brace on there. Look, fam, aesthetically, love it. Loved it. I loved it the second I saw it, and every time I look at it, it puts a smile on my face, fam. 100%. But look, looks are one thing. How does it shoot? Let's get into the review. Alright, fam, if you haven't seen a 2ANLA review before, 0 is hot garbage. 100 is the best possible gun that one could imagine. Never had a gun get a 0. Never had a gun get 100. But we can always hold out hope. 50 to 60s are right down the middle of gun. Gonna go bang every time. No feels, no thrills. 60 to 70 probably has a feature or two that give it a little leg up over those kind of down the middle guns. Something 70 to 80. Now you've got a gun that is more feature rich and is, you know, in the top 3/4 quartile. If you got some 80 to 90, now you're cooking with gas. Now you got a gun that's kind of best in class, particularly if you got like 85 to 89. And if you got something 90 or above, grail gun status, period. All right, fam, first up, fit and finish. Outstanding. Outstanding. HK, say what you want, man. They do a phenomenal job. I'll put the specs up there for this bad boy so you can check those out. But look, fam, HK spared no expense. They went all out with this gun. I think it is incredibly well done. Fit and finish, 14 out of a possible 15. Next up, fam, reliability. Look, fam, oiled it up, took it out to the range, and just went hog wild. Just went hog wild. Once there was oil in this bad boy, it just ran and ran flawlessly. I had 0 issues. It was a pleasure to shoot. Yeah, I'd say keep it clean, keep it oiled. This gun is going to go. Piston-driven guns tend to be more reliable anyway. So yeah, reliability, 14 out of a possible 15. Next up, durability. This bad boy is a little tank. It's a little tank. Now, for a piston-driven gun, it's very lightweight. If you're asking me like, oh, should I get this or what's better, this or your V7 Terran Tactical Sovereign? I mean, that's a direct blowback gun. That gun is like sub 4 pounds. So it's just different. You know, you've got a war gun right here. That gun is built for speed. This gun is built for durability and to withstand some elements to it, right? And so, yeah, durability again, high marks, 14 out of a possible 15. All right, fam, next up, trigger. The one criticism I tend to have about HKs, I feel like they could do a little better on their triggers. Like the SP5K trigger is trash. Now that's 1960 technologies, even with the upgraded trigger shoe. There's ways around that, certainly. I certainly could have changed out the trigger here. This trigger is better, certainly, than the SP5K trigger. It's fine. It's fine. For a battle rifle trigger, it's fine. And that was the thing. Like, I started to change it out and put like a competition trigger in it, one that was faster. But I felt like this trigger was solid. It was made for this gun. Let me just let you guys take a look at it. You can see you've got ever so slight take up, clear defined wall, crisp clean break. Let's look at the reset, short reset. So look, is it like some of the other triggers that you see on some of my other firearms? No, it's not that. But it's good. It's good. It's solid. It's a solid trigger. It's not going to wow you or whatever, but it's going to be reliable. Going to go bang every time. Very durable trigger. We're going to give this a 12 out of possible 15. All right, fam. Next up, accuracy. So look, fam. I found the gun to be very accurate. I shot it at, I didn't show this on video. We've got a lot of rounds through the gun already. I took it out. I was in a 50-yard bay, I think, when I did this initial video, and I was getting, sub MOA groups. Took it out to 100, took it out to 200, took it out to 300. Still, if you've got kind of good ammo, match grade ammo, you're going to get sub MOA groups with this rifle, without a doubt. So accuracy, we're going to give it a 9 out of a possible 10. Next up, ergonomics, fam. For a piston-driven gun, fam, it is not overwhelmingly heavy. Like I said, I was surprised. It's a heavy girl. We'll put the weight up there. But I feel like I could run a class with this rifle. I would probably pick my Sovereign just because it's lighter weight. But yeah, man, not bad. Not bad. And it feels good. Just really easy to manipulate. I like it. I like the ergos. I think job well done by HK there. Again, we're going to give it a 9 out of a possible 10 for ergonomics. All right, fam, these next two categories, we're going to lump them together, and that is aftermarket support and maintenance and upkeep. Did I mention that this was an AR-15? I did, right? So if it's an AR-15, there is more aftermarket support than we know what to do with, as you can see by the way this rifle is outfitted. So yeah, fam, 100%, 5 out of 5 for aftermarket support. And again, maintenance and upkeep, same thing. 5 out of 5. It's an AR-15, easy to take down, easy to clean, easy to reassemble, no muss, no fuss, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. 5 out of 5 in both those categories. All right, fam. Next up, affordability. So look, fam, I'll go ahead and put the MSRP up there. It's a pretty penny. It's not an inexpensive rifle. When I think about its competitors, though, piston-driven guns are just more expensive. They're just what it is. Now, some people may debate, are piston-driven guns worth it? Direct blowback guns have gotten more and more reliable over time, more and more durable over time. And so some people might argue about the utility, given the additional weight of a piston-driven gun. But this was more about checking a box for me in my collection. It's a phenomenal shooting gun. And I felt like I wanted to scratch that piston itch, and so I definitely did that. I wanted a piston-driven gun in 5.56, 223. There's a couple other ones I got my eye out on as well, and maybe one will find its way into my collection. But for right now, I think I am good. I am satisfied. But this is an expensive rifle or brace pistol, and so for affordability, we're going to give it a 2 out of a possible 5. Last but certainly not least, flex. Look, fam, I told you guys, the thing that drew me into this gun initially was the aesthetics. Now you add that on that it's HK's newest kind of premier piston-driven gun, and you had me at hello. You had me at a hello, fam. Yes, yes, yes. Full flex on here. We're going to give this gun a 4 out of 5 for flex points. All right, fam. If you add all of that up, the HKMR 5.56A4 gets a whopping 88 out of a possible 100. Fam, just 2 points away from Grail gun status. And you know, fam, that's rare air. And I also told you, if you get something like 85 to 89, you're talking about a best-in-class gun. And again, what that really means is not that it's the best gun, but it's a best-in-class gun where if you match this gun up against any other piston-driven SBR out there, you're going to probably be better or as good. And I think that is definitely the case here. Shout out to HK for doing a phenomenal job. Shout out to Covert for sourcing the rifle for me. Man, so happy to have this one in my collection. I'm going to be doing a lot of shooting with it. Hopefully I'll bring a lot of that content to you guys, so stay tuned for that. But happy to add another HK into my collection. All right, that's it for this episode, fam. Until next time, as always, take care of one another and peace.